Drake, what you got going on? You done sent out a cease and desist because you don't want King.
I'm Attorney Candace, and let's talk about cease and desist letters and defamation so you can fully understand what's going on and what's about to happen between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. All right, so first and foremost, this is like my 100th time recording this video. Sorry for the delay. Let's get right into it. So many of you guys already know what defamation is. So in short form, defamation is just when you accuse someone of making some type of statement, whether it's a verbal statement or a written statement, and what they're saying about you is false, okay? Right. So right now we have what's called a cease and desist letter that was sent out to Kendrick Lamar's people to basically tell him to stop performing the song and cease and desist performing any, renditions of the song and what have you, okay? Now, the cease and desist letter is what us attorneys send out prior to suing someone. So it's basically like a warning, like, hey, stop doing this or else, So that's what Drake's attorney did. And so once that cease and desist letter goes out to Kendrick's attorney reviews it and makes a decision on, does the arguments in this cease and desist letter have any merit? Basically, does Drake, have a likelihood of winning a defamation suit, right? And so Kendrick's attorney would make those evaluations and then sit down and have a conversation with Kendrick and let him know, hey, either there's a likelihood of defamation or not. And there could be one or two options that Kendrick's attorney can take after that. He can respond to Drake's attorney and say, look, my client will agree to settle. He won't perform the song, blah, blah, blah. However, that's probably extremely likely not to happen, okay? So the other alternative that Kendrick's attorney would probably do is write back and say, bullcrap, your client has no merit. My client has not committed defamation. And if you want to duke it out in court, we can. And then give a legal analysis as to why. Boom. So that's cease and desist letters. However, if this case proceeds to an actual lawsuit for defamation, Drake's gonna have, Drake and Kendrick are, they're gonna have some challenges. So when it comes to defamation, what the person says has to be untrue, okay? And you have to be able to show that, that statement is not true, okay? So, it's about to get real deep into Drake's business. Obviously Kendrick accused him of the P word. And so, if that is not true, then it is defamation, okay? However, the other thing when it comes to defamation is damages, okay? So, A, on one hand, you got to make sure what you're saying is true, and then B, you got to make sure that you have damages, okay? Just because someone says something about you and it's not true doesn't mean you're harmed, okay? So to prevail in a defamation lawsuit, you have to be able to show that you were harmed. What are your damages, okay? And so ding, 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 that goes into the aspect that was brought up in the prior video that I stitched, where, it was like, why did Drake wait so long to say something or do something and take legal action against Kendrick, right? This song's been out since, earlier in the year. And so when it comes to damages, an artist like Drake would be able to show damages by showing, hey, since this song has come out, my sales have dropped. I've gotten less people in attendance at concerts, less people wanting to do business, all those things. And sometimes it takes time to be able to, evaluate your business in that regard. So that's probably the number one reason why Drake waited so long to take legal action, okay? Now, so those are the things. Drake has to show, A, what Kendrick is saying is not true. B, he suffered damages as a result. Now, The other thing that's really important when it comes to defamation is something called defamation per se. And defamation per se is basically an easier way to prove that someone defamed you if what they said falls into certain categories, okay? Now, those certain categories are, for example, if they accuse you of committing a crime, if they accuse you of, you know, some type of heinous act or something like that, but really committing a crime, diseases, things like that, then it's automatically defamation per se, which means you have a lower burden, if you will. It's automatically assumed to be defamatory if a person says something in those per se categories, okay? Now, you still gotta show that you got damages. Sorry, you don't have to show you got damages, right? It's automatically assumed that you're damaged if someone says something that falls within the defamation per se category, okay? But you still have to show, you know, that it was not true, okay? So that is what's going on. Oh my God, that was a lot, but that is defamation in a nutshell, and that is what's going on between the parties, Drake and Kendrick Lamar. And I think that this is probably gonna end up in a lawsuit because we know Kendrick has been playing the They Not Like Us song back to back to back to back to back to back nonstop. I mean, even at individual concerts, he plays the song multiple times at a single concert. So I don't see Kendrick backing down at this point. And seems to me like before he wrote and published the They Not Like Us song, he likely had advice from counsel on defamation, and you know, I'm sure he has some receipts. Well, I would hope he would have some receipts. Kendrick, you better get those receipts ready. Otherwise, you'll be on the hook for defamation. So that's defamation per se. Let's stay tuned and see what happens between the parties if they duke it out in court. And you know, see what goes on from here. Until then, I'm Attorney Candace. Make sure you tune into my YouTube channel, which is where I'll be doing more long form content. And my YouTube is Attorney Candace. Until next time.